So we just blind guess where our 120-yard pin would be. And I think you're gonna like what you see. I think it definitely does what it's proved to do, give you a little bit more elevation. It's 106 to the road. Why not see how far we can go with this, right? We've zeroed in at 20 and then bumped all the way back to 120, and now we can really have some fun and fine tune it.
And that's probably 17?
22.
22? I mean, you're getting...
We'll max it out for sure. And if you look at those arrows, they're all perfectly in a horizontal line, which means our 120 is definitely on. What I need to do on the dial now is I need to get a pin and mark that 110 so I know where it's at.
Don't mess that up again. We're gonna use the dialed sight to see if that angled elevation system is gonna be enough to add yardage without having to adjust anything else on your bow, like draw length or poundage.
You can see how that bar is at an angle there. And so that's gonna give us a little bit more yardage. That's why they designed it that way. So we're gonna see how much range we can get out of this exact setup. Draw weight, draw length, peep, height, it's all gonna stay the same. We're simply gonna undo that bridge lock screw, pop out the Matthews Genuine that's already sighted in, put in the dialed proof sight, and get this thing dialed out to 60. So that way we know both sights are 100% on. And then we're gonna see how far we can go with that sight until we touch the bottom of the arrow, which ultimately gives us that longest distance that we're going to get out of that sight.
So the first thing we're doing here is Chase is getting sighted in at 20 on that dialed, and really what we just realized is we're not going to have to do a whole lot of shooting to see if this is really going to work, because once he's sighted in, all we're really going to need to do is put a sight tape on there and then rack them both down to see basically where the sight bottoms out and how far that gets you on the tape. Getting close?
Getting close.
So Chase, hit me with your initial thoughts. You're getting 20 sighted in on the dialed sight. Do you think there's going to be a big enough difference to make your sight tape a little bit longer with the dialed sight?
I think for sure there will be. The other thing that I'll say is just from the beginning of shooting this dialed, some of the features that I do like about it are that lock is just super easy to use, and when you lock it, it is rock solid. Like, it's not going to go anywhere accidentally. But on top of that, that level being on top is a game changer. It's like you can actually see it without moving your head or your eyes, and I feel like with that level on the bottom, which is traditional, as you look at that level, it's like you got to take your eyes off of your pin and just completely lose focus versus just having it kind of in your peripheral. Sounds weird, but it's same location, it's just top versus bottom. You put your string in the center of your rest. Your pins should be just touching your string on the outside.
So as you're looking at it on the left side of the bow, or on the left side of the bowstring?
Yeah, for a right-hander, it should just be on the left side. So I'm sitting out too far, and so I'm bringing it in. Right now, you can see those pins. If you line that string up with the center of that rest, those pins are just barely to the outside of that string. That's a fantastic starting point for left-right, but we'll see.
I think that'll work.
We'll test it one more. Maybe we got lucky.
Something tells me it'll be pretty consistent.
We'll see.
I heard some fletchings hit, so I think you'll be all right.
All right, so I have that tape from Precision Cut that we printed out.
Uh-huh.
So I should be able to pretty well guess a good tape.
To match them up, you mean?
Yeah, to match it up. Once we get that tape selected, it'll have out to 100, so just right away we can probably see from the visual standpoint of where that arrow is and the top of our sight and the pin distance, how much more we'll get out of it. But we could play and then drop some bombs too, which sounds fun.
I like that idea too.
We should do that.
So basically what he's saying is he got 20 sighted in on the dialed, and he's already done a Precision Cut tape for the other sight that was on his bow before he put this one on, which was the Ultra View sight. So both awesome sights. What we're really just trying to test here is to see if that dialed angled elevation system really helps with the extra yardage that it claims. So he's got the 20 dialed. He's going to match up his tapes, Precision Cut archery, to the dialed tapes, and put the one on there that fits the best. Back it up to 60, kind of just double check, sight it at 60, and then from there we'll be able to kind of roll those sights down, both of them at the same time, kind of see where they end up in terms of arrow clearance. So one of the benefits of dialed here is you have super easy way of getting this ring off. You basically just loosen that Allen key, pop the ring off, and then you can get the tape on there super easy.
Okay, so just double check it at my zero stop. So now we can take our tape. I'm just gonna run it right over that test tape, I think. I don't know, based on my Precision Cuts, unless something changes because of that, you know, the bar sight angle, it's showing me sight tape 1. So I'm glad I'm not shooting my 80-pound bow, because I wouldn't know what to do. I'd need a negative.
Be too speedy.
Too speedy. Let alone you, Sasquatch, with longer arms.
don't know who you're talking about.
So now I'm just gonna lay this right over the top of this other tape. What I do love about Dialed is they don't just stop at 100. They give you all this tape.
They keep it going.
They give you all that tape to make more marks of your own. All right, I'm gonna put it on the inside.
So theoretically, we throw this on, and are you gonna back it up to 60 then? Shoot a couple times and make sure we're on at least?
We can do that.
That way it's a apples to apples
I
comparison.
kind of want to do 40, but 60 would be a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, we like interesting. And so kind of walk us through it too. So on this exact bow, right before we started the video, you had the UltraView slider sight on it, the slider 2 sight.
Yep.
And you have that sighted in, shooting well. Like I said, fantastic sight still. This is basically an experiment to see if the angled elevation system on that Dialed is really going to give us any extra yardage.
Yep. And then we'll see what our third arrow does at 60.
Okay.
If our 40 looks good.
Okay, so we got our tape on. What are we doing now?
Now we're just gonna walk it back. I'm gonna double check my 20 since, I don't know, I kind of messed with it. I wanna make sure that stop is in their correct spot. So we'll shoot 20, and then I think we'll just back up 40 and 60, just in case, so we don't lose an arrow. We'll kind of walk it back, make sure we're on as we go.
20 coming right up.
Oh, wind blew me over.
Yeah, that wind doesn't
I
help.
felt good about it though. That
Yeah.
wind blew me over. Yep. We'll try 40.
On to 40. So this is where we see if your precision cut tape matched your Dialed tape.
Yeah. Can't forget to move your tape.
Yeah.
No, that would be bad. All right, so I'm on the 40 mark.
That looked pretty good.
I think we're good.
I think you're good to back it up.
That was a me thing. So what's super nice about precision cut, and we make these tapes in our stores now, is the fact that you can go out here. What'd it take us? 3 arrows probably at 20?
Yeah.
Shot one at 40. Now we're back out to 60, and there's no lost arrows, no broken arrows, no misses.
And we're 5 minutes into this and we're shooting at 60 already.
Yeah, and I mean, even at the price of getting a tape done, which right now is $25 in our pro shops, beats the frustration and headache of going, you know, a lot of these sites, you want to go to 20 and get dialed and then 60. And that big variance there, like, you're going to yard sale at least one arrow. This just prevents all of that. Makes it a lot easier and builds confidence. Yeah, so Precision Cut is software where we input 4 pieces of data into the software, and it creates a tape based on that data for each individual bow and person, because the bow is going to vary because of axle to axle lengths. So those measurements are: 1, arrow weight, arrow speed, which is coming out of the bow arrow speed, and then we take a at full draw, so we put it on our draw board, and it's the peep to arrow height at full draw, so it's going to be back like this, and you're going to measure that distance, which will be different, and then peep to pin length. Once we put those in, spits out the actual tape that you could use. Otherwise, what we like to do is just match it up to the tapes that come with the site, you know, it's supplied from the vendor, stick it on, and go to 20, get zeroed in. Which honestly, you could do in a basement or even in our 10-yard ranges in most of our stores. If you're on at 10, it's not gonna be that far off from 20. You kind of re-zero with an arrow or two at 20 and bump back to 60. You got a good reference spot.
And so one of the best parts about Precision Cut is you can literally do it with any site, any sliding site that would require a tape at all. Doesn't matter if it's UltraView, Dialed, HHA, really doesn't matter. It basically just gives you a really good starting point to then, like Chace said, match up to the site tapes provided by the vendor in your site. And then that way you basically just have a super fast starting point on how to sight in incredibly fast. How was 60?
Oh, it was low.
Low?
I'm not sure if that was a me thing. Got a little bit of a downhill to it. We'll go.
Need some more arrows?
Need more arrows. Should we take the cart?
Sure.
Oh, you're supposed to jump in.
You get to take the cart, I get to watch you. And guys, the reason we're doing this the way that we're doing it is see if the Dialed gets us more distance just because of the way it's designed. So we're really just trying to get it sighted in to the same level as the UltraView one. So that way we're comparing apples to apples. 2 sighted in sights on Chace's bow with Chace shooting. It's all gonna be the same stuff. I don't think you ever said before, but what were your specs on your bow and yourself, I should say?
For speed and that?
For speed and all that, and then also draw length and poundage for what it is.
Well, this is 70 pounds, 29 inches. It's an ARC 30.
Remember your speed?
304. I mean, it's 70 pounds. So
Yeah.
I want to say it's right on 304.
A few more at 60 just to make sure.
Yeah, I'm feeling I might need to make an adjustment though. I didn't like the way that last one flew.
Sure.
Just hitting that bottom blue.
A little low.
Yeah, I might need to move 1 or 2 sight tapes, which is fine because this is sight tape 1, which I didn't feel should be right. So maybe
You mean you'll have to go negative?
No,
You'll go to like 2 or 3.
I'm shooting low, which means I
You
need
gotta slow it down.
Yeah, so I need to go to 2 or 3.
That's better than the alternative for the sake of this video.
Yeah. Or if I put 80s on, 80-pound
Yeah,
mods
right.
on. This wind is just blowing me enough though. It's
A little low. You wanna bring it with
probably
to
take
change
this with
tapes?
us. Yep.
I'm gonna take you up on the cart ride this time.
Perfect. I guess looking at it, it looks like I dropped my bow arm on maybe one of them,
Yeah?
but I mean the group's good.
Yeah? Just a little low to,
Yeah, I mean what? We're probably 10 inches low.
maybe not even that, but yeah, somewhere around there.
So we'll, I think I'll try tape 3 and we'll reshoot 60.
This is a perfect example of explaining why precision cut may not be perfect, but it gets you incredibly close to at least trial and error your distances.
Yeah, the way we like to teach it in the store is it's kind of like bore sighting a gun. A lot of people think that when you bore sight a gun, you may be able to just go out there and hit paper at 100, but that is not true. Or I shouldn't say hit paper at 100. They expect that you'll actually hit the bullseye at 100. Like it's paper tuned and you can essentially just go shoot. And that's not the case. Bore sighting, we like to say it'll get you on paper at 50, which isn't saying much. When a precision rifle, you're gonna sight it in for a 200-yard zero usually. It's really not saying a lot. And so there's still work involved. It's just gonna get you close. It's the same way with this. This is like bore sighting a rifle for a bow. And the goal is to reduce the headache, get you on target, which we were, and have a much better time, enjoyable time sighting in. And so no
It
arrows.
just makes it so much faster.
Yeah, way faster. So we're just gonna jump up 2 tapes here. So if you look at the distance, the difference on those tapes, I'm going from tape 1 right here to tape 3. I don't have them lined up, so let me reline them so you can see. Make sure the 20s are in the same spot. So I'm gonna be going from tape 1 to tape 3, I think. And if you look straight across, bottom of that was my 100, and now it's coming in at the bottom of that Allen wrench. So it's about that much distance is all that we're gonna change it. I don't know how big that is, but
We'll find out.
so when you're sighting in your bow, you always want to chase your arrow. If you hit high, you need to raise your sight. If you hit left, you need to move left. You just chase that arrow into the bullseye. Easiest way to think about it.
And so when you're picking tapes and your first tape isn't right, like in this case, how do you know whether to go up or down in tapes, the faster or the slower tapes? How does that make sense?
Yep, so we felt good at 20. Our 20 is not going to change. It's still going to be in the exact same spot. Our 40 is going to change ever so slightly, but at 40, I mean, we're moving it the width of that Allen key at 60. So at 40, it's way less than that. I mean, we felt good at 40. This is just going to be a minor adjustment. It's going to be better. At 60 though, the further you get, the more you're going to see that variance. And so at 60, we were hitting low, which means I need to lower that 60-yard mark and adjust the sight accordingly. And so that's what we did. We went from 1 to 3, and we'll give it a whirl here.
Which technically means that it's a slower tape, right?
Correct.
So you could say lower, slower.
You could. Lower, slower. By Solomon.
Jokes of the day by Solomon. And so when putting a new tape on here, for the people that might have a dialed sight or might be looking at getting one, you basically just realign. You take the tape off, put a new one on, and then realign it with your 20 on your indicator.
Yeah, so I make sure I'm at my stop, so I can't raise it anymore, which I know that's where I sighted in my 20, is because it's at that stop. So when I put on a new tape, I can put it anywhere on this dial. I just move this dial to where my 20's on, tighten up that Allen key, and away you go. And then if you ever want to change different arrows, maybe you're changing to 125 grain field point or something like that, or broadhead, you can do that, and you can have multiple rings, dial rings, to where you're just going to swap them out depending on what you're shooting. So another benefit to Dialed that a lot of other manufacturers don't do.
Gonna go try 60 again?
Yeah, go try 60. All right, so we can't forget, got to move our sight
Move
to
the sight,
60
everybody. Move the sight.
every time. When you sight in, always shoot in groups of 3. One, it gives you the advantage of seeing how far off you are instead of throwing a dozen down there and then trying to decipher from your spray what's accurate. If you shoot 3, very easy to tell if you're left, right, up, or down. Take the common denominator and move it. The other reason, when you shoot 12 and you're trying to sight in, you're just gonna wear yourself out, and then you're gonna get more frustrated. So limit how much you're shooting and just focus on hitting the target. I'll give 60 a whirl here with tape number 3. We got a little bit of a wind today, and it's blowing to the right. You can see it blowing right down where my target's at. It's not as bad here, but it's really carrying that arrow a little bit. So I'm just gonna re-verify. What's up?
Oh boy.
All right. I think elevation looked good other than the one that I dropped. So as long as we're hitting that spot, we can deal with a little wind error. We just want to know that that 60 is elevation-wise where it needs to be. That's too many arrows hitting right, so I'm gonna move it just a little bit. I'm gonna chase your arrow and move it to the right since I'm hitting right. So I'm just gonna go let's go 5 clicks and we'll tighten her back down. And again, everything's magnified at 60, so I might not have noticed being a little right, especially at 20. And we only shot 1 arrow at 40. So a few clicks at 60 might make a difference. Keep on holding right. Might need to go another tape. I'm gonna take it down there. Oh, that's not.
Those aren't too bad.
It's always worse in your head.
Yeah.
Especially when you can't see your arrows.
Like you said, everything's amplified at 60.
Yeah, but you can see if I took all 3 of those arrows, I'm shooting a little low, probably half the distance low that I was.
Yep.
And I am still, after that minor adjustment, shooting a little to the right.
So you could take half of what you just put into it to the right and do it again, probably.
Yep.
And then maybe go up another tape or 2.
Yeah, I'm thinking another 2.
Another 2, and then you'll be,
I'll be
pretty good.
Yep.
And that's the thing with this stuff, guys. Take your time sighting in your bow. It shouldn't be a rush. It's one of those things where if you get it right and you take the time to get it right, you shouldn't really have to ever adjust it again unless something changes with your bow, like your draw poundage or your draw length for whatever reason, if you wanted to increase or decrease that, or potentially if you wanted to use any other arrow weights or different broadheads, like Chase was saying, if you wanted to shoot 125 instead of 100, all that stuff's gonna go into your sight tape. But spend the time to do it right the first time and you'll thank yourself later. So returning sight tape number 3 back to its home.
Yep.
We're gonna adopt number 5.
Yep, I think I'm just gonna go to 5, which once again, if we go from 3 to 5, there's the bottom of my 3 mark for 100. I'm just going another, it's an Allen key distance is all that I'm moving it down. So we'll throw 5 on my dial. And then I've got it on my 0 stop, which is my 20 mark. Thanks to Solomon for reminding me of that. And we're just gonna put it dead nuts on for 20 and tighten her down.
And then and only then will we be perfectly dialed, hopefully.
This is it.
This is it.
I can feel it.
You can feel it. Let's do it.
All right, let's give it a whirl. Now we got a little wind, more than what we had.
Did you do your couple clicks right, or were you not gonna do those?
Oh, good call. Yep, let's move it. I'm gonna loosen this. I think I go this way. Really wish they'd label it.
I know.
But I just watch my bars, so they got indicators there, and so you can see.
Sometimes when I'm doing this, if I don't know which way it is, I'll just like you said, watch the indicator and go 5 clicks one way, and then I'll just look at it again, and then I know if that's either right or wrong. But if it's wrong, I know I only went 5 clicks.
Yep. Yeah, and I saw it move there, so I know that went right. So I went 3 clicks to the right. I've been shooting those dang easy mods. And these are the regular mods.
Oh, are they?
I shot them all winter. And the draw cycle on this is so different.
That shot looked a lot better.
Yeah, elevation's dead nuts.
Yeah.
Just a little to the left now.
Yep.
Probably take that.
What was your suggestion, Chase?
We got a full-sized elk right there. Why don't we drop some bombs into that elk from, I don't know, we'll see how far we can get over there. But I bet we can get at least 100 yards.
I think that's a great idea. Like we said, we've got the correct tape on this UltraView sight because Chase has already been shooting this. It's sighted in.
Well, so right there, that's my 20-yard mark. I'm going off my top pin. That's where my zero stop is. And then as we scroll down with that sight, that top pin there's my sight bottomed out, which is fine. I'm about ready to hit the top of that arrow shaft, but that top pin's marking me at 111. Obviously on this side I've got 2 more horizontal pins, so 111 for that top pin. I would assume that next pin is going to be down around that probably 120, 123 mark, and then probably around 135 for that bottom mark, 130.
So in this case, would it make sense to just go off of the top initial pin mark, that indicator? Is that going to keep it apples to apples?
No, not necessarily. And the reason for that is you can see how high my top pin is in that UV sight versus this sight. So that is going to be one of the only challenges. It's going to be more equivalent to where that middle sight would be. And so if I were to look at that middle sight, I'd call it bottoming out at, we can shoot it, but I'd say probably that's 110, so probably 120. 123, somewhere in there.
That'd be pretty close. And so on this UV sight already, like you said, we're bottomed out, so we don't really run into arrow clearance issues potentially, because you could probably flip your arrow the other way around.
Just spin it like that.
Yep, and then you'd probably be just fine clearance-wise. So the UltraView sight gives you the ability to go as far down as possible and still be able to shoot, in your case, without having to worry about arrows touching your sight housing.
Yep, and with our top pin at 100 yards, that's the amount of space that I still have left. So you can see I'm not going to gain much over that 100-yard mark with that top pin. I mean, it is definitely bottomed out at 111. So we'll kind of go off of that housing and see how much more room we have.
Perfect. So in this case, let's pop that one off, pop the dialed one on, and see if it makes any difference visually.
So now I've got that dialed sight on the bow. Right there was my last shot. I was at 60. So I'm going to run this down, and there's 100 yards. And I think you can easily tell
you've got a little more room there.
I've got more room, and that's with the pin being more in the center of the sight than the UV, because I was going off of my top pin. So I think no matter what, you can say that I've got more room. If I go all the way down to where I'm almost touching that, you know, that was about where my 110 was on that UV. And just for reference, I'm going to move it, but that's 100. To bottom it down to that point, I mean, I'm getting easily another 120, 30 yards out of it, and that pin's more in the center of the sight. So I think it definitely does what it's proved to do, give you a little bit more elevation.
So you definitely get some more clearance. You're probably getting more out of your sight tape with the Dialed Proof sight.
Yep. Yeah, and there's benefits to both of these sights. Certain things that I like more about the Proof, and certainly things that I like more about that UltraView. But if you're really looking for a long range sight, something that's going to give you a few more yards, I mean, even another 5 yards for that pin is going to be helpful at attack or just having fun with some long shots. That Dialed Proof is going to be the sight to choose. It's 106 to the road.
To the road? And that's probably 17.
22.
22. I mean, you're getting...
We'll max it out for sure.
I think we might have the opportunity to. So now that we've found visually that you can basically get more yardage out of your sight tape with the Dialed Proof sight, we're going to back it up a little bit. We've got this 3D full-size elk target behind us. We got Chase over here with the bow, and we're going to back it up to the road over here and probably throw some long bombs just to make sure that it's actually going to work for science.
Whew, that's an elk shot.
This is quite the distance. What are you getting?
110 on the nose.
110 on the nose from here. That's a long ways, but it's a big target.
It is a big target.
You want to send one?
We'll send one. 110. Well, I've run out of tape at 100. Dial doesn't put any more on, so I'm going to make a guess here. On this dialed, I am not going to have vein contact at 110. You can see looking down that vein, I'm just clearing the bottom of that. So I'm gonna send it just like that.
That in itself is impressive, that you can still run your cock vane up without having any
110.
contact at 110.
Yep.
And you change nothing. Your draw length's the same, your poundage is the same,
Yep.
everything is the same.
And what we could do, I could shoot one arrow with this, and then we could put on that UV and do the same with it for fun.
For science.
For science.
Foam.
I hit it.
That's foam.
I don't know where. Are you serious? How did I pull it that far right?
But, I mean, regardless of left and right, your elevation's perfect, which is what we're testing.
It's full. Elevation's dead nuts.
Dead nuts, like, perfect. What are you doing here? Are you testing this for science?
Yeah, we're gonna go to the UV. And if I so happen to just smoke him in the 10 ring with the UV, I'm gonna have to shoot another arrow with the dialed. Cause, you know. So right now I'm at 100 with that top pin. I'm gonna go down to 111 since I have a mark, or 110 since I have a mark. And you can
Which
see
is still 110 with your top pin.
Correct. And you can see, I gotta go a little bit further. You can see right there, I cannot do what I did with my UV because I don't have enough clearance. In order to shoot 110, I'm gonna have to rotate my vanes to get that clearance. So right there it proves we've got more room for elevation in that dialed. What I need to do in the dialed now is I need to get a pin and mark that 110 so I know where it's at.
Don't mess that up again.
All right.
UV at 110. I heard foam, I didn't see it though.
Foam 2 in a row, so I feel like I kind of jerked a little bit. It's within 6 inches of my other arrow.
Is it really?
So I don't know why I'm shooting to the right.
Well, if it is, I mean, that's the wind is still blowing to the right as you get out there.
Oh, that's true.
So,
it's
I mean,
not down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's gonna let that thing sail a little bit.
Yep. It could be taking it just a hair with it.
We'll see what kind of group I can get. Feels like it's quartering away a little bit, doesn't it?
It might be a little bit. He's looking away, that's for sure.
Shoot one more. Where that one went.
Foam again. What?
I don't know where it went though. Oh, a little behind the heart, but that'll work. I kind of want to do that again.
I think we have a little bit of space to back it up still with the dialed.
We could, just for funs.
I mean, we could probably get, what are we at, 110? We could probably get 120 right there at least.
Oh, look at that, I've got a pin. I think I'm just gonna mark this. Mark that at 110.
Now
And
you know.
yeah, we can try 110 and why not see how far we can go with this, right? We can back up another 10 and
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go get their arrows. Yeah, you're right. I mean, at 100 with that wind.
I bet it pushed you over a little bit.
Yeah. And I don't know, I'm from Nebraska. I've never seen an elk. That's not where you're supposed to hit them. We're gonna try it one more time just to see if I can get a little bit better shot here. I think I was right here, right?
I think so. And honestly, shout out to Matthew's bridge lock stuff for how easy it is to flip-flop these sights back and forth. We're literally shooting 110, taking it off and putting a new one on, and everything's still holding true.
110. Felt good. That's a dead elk.
Is it?
That's a dead elk. So now
Get
we'll
as far back as we can go.
Yeah, why not? See how far it is. I'll take 2 arrows. Oof, I gotta get over, so I'm gonna clear that tree. So from here, 125.
So
I
we're
don't
gonna
have a
take
mark.
we're gonna take a pretty good guess.
We're gonna guess. I think I'm gonna move up to 120 though, just so I can put an actual good mark on. As long as it's on, that's 120. So I've got that dialed at 110 right now. Let's see if we can still run cock vane up at 120. So that's 110, where that mark is. I'm gonna lower it about right there, we'll call it. So we got another 10 yards out of this proof site before we had to rotate the vanes. All right, goes 120 with a pretty good right side, or from the left wind.
And you're still using your top pin,
Still using my top
which is
pin.
crazy.
I think I shot it in the butt.
I heard foam.
Foam is foam. We'll check elevation. At this distance, that's the main thing. We're just having fun. We'd never shoot an animal at that distance, so it's just, the elevation's good. It's the main thing. If I'm hitting right, that's a good thing, kinda, because that wind's blowing.
If you're hitting right, it at least makes sense.
Yeah. hit foam again.
So just for quick reference for those folks at home, you've taken a total of probably 12 shots through this dialed sight since putting it on, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd say 12 to 18.
And you're at 125
We're
yards.
at 120.
120
So
yards.
kudos to the whole system, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Matthew's system, the dialed sight, precision cuts made it easy. Less arrows spent trying to get sighted in. And we're gonna go look at those arrows. We've got a right wind gust, so if anything, it's gonna push me to the butt of that elk. And I think you're gonna like what you see.
Uh-oh.
Because it's all exactly the same elevation.
Is it really?
Spread across the elk.
This is perfect. Oops.
So we just blind guessed where our 120 yard pin would be. And we just put 3 arrows. I mean, one was in the vitals, one was slightly off, but the wind's blowing this way. And if you look at those arrows, they're all perfectly in a horizontal line, which means our 120 is definitely on. There's some minor adjustments with the wind and probably my capability to shoot a bow at 120 yards, but we can go ahead and just mark that at 120 and yeah, I mean, within 12, I'd call it more 18 arrows. We've zeroed in at 20 and then bumped all the way back to 120, and now we can really have some fun and fine tune it. Well, that's just perfect, isn't it?
That's it doesn't get much better than that. I mean,
I mean, it'd be better if they were all here.
it'd be better if they were all there, but for elevation, which is kind of the bulk of the test,
Yep.
that's where we're at. So ladies and gentlemen, that proves the theory that the dialed sight does in fact do what it's supposed to do and give you extra yardage with that system. So once again, like we said, that's only Chace's top pin. So he's got more yardage to go, even past 120 with just his top pin. But once he hits that limit, you've got the middle pin and the bottom pin yet too. But check out Dialed stuff. They make some awesome quality bow sights. Super cool. If you're a 3D guy, if you're a long range shooter, they're probably one of the best options you can get. So stop into the SCHEELS, check them out.